committee that addressed this distinguished gathering of this critical moment in the history of Nigeria's agricultural transformation. I commend the chairman of the board, the executive director of management and staff of Rubber Research Institute of Nigeria, organizing this national roundtable and bringing together stakeholders from across the rubber value chain, policymakers, researchers, farmers, processors, investors, and international experts to engage in a proposed dialogue on reviving and revolutionizing Nigeria's rubber sector. The theme of this roundtable, revolutionizing the Nigerian rubber sector for economic independence, is not only timely but also strikes at the very core of our national economic aspirations as encapsulated in the renewed agenda of our dear President, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Rubber, heavier Braziliensis, is not just a commodity. It is a strategic, national and international asset. It has the potential to be a major pillar of Nigeria's non-oil economy, a driver of inclusive rural development, and a significant contributor to the ideals of job creation, poverty eradication, thereby contributing to our national GDP. With over 400 applications supporting industries such as automotive, construction, healthcare, manufacturing sectors, its vital role in sustainability and social equity has remained largely under-recognized. Harnessing its full potential to transform the sector into a powerhouse of exports, revenue, foreign exchange earnings, rural employment, and agro-industrial revolutionization, where sustainable land management will be at its core. Rubber offers a natural linkage between agriculture and industry, supporting the government's vision for an integrated agro-industrial value chain. At a time when the global economy is tilting towards sustainability, bio-based industries, and climate-smart solutions, natural rubber, especially within regenerative agroforestry system, offers a unique opportunity to align our national agricultural ambitions with global market trends and environmental priorities. Nigeria possesses approximately 18 million hectares of land suitable for rubber cultivation, with natural rubber currently cultivated across 25 states and 13 states accounting for high production levels, 3 states at medium level capacity, and 9 states with low output. Of this potential, only about 200,000 hectares, which represents 1.1%, are under active cultivation across the 6 geopolitical zones. This modest performance is paradoxical, given Nigeria's vast agroecological advantage and the rising domestic demand from manufacturing industries. Of the 200,000 hectares under cultivation, approximately 75 to 85% are managed by smallholder farmers, most of whom practice rubber-based agroforestry systems, while the rest are managed by formal established estate plantations. Presently, 154,000 hectares are actually tapped, yielding between 140,000 to 159,000 tons of natural rubber in 2022, representing less than 10% of Africa's total rubber production. This has forced Nigeria to depend increasingly on imports. The value of imported rubber and rubber-based products rose from 631.1 billion in 2013 to about 1.3 trillion in 2023, a staggering 106% increase. Only a small fraction of domestically produced rubber is processed locally into finished products. Most are exported raw or semi-processed. Although with millions of hectares suitable land, an active smallholder base, and increasing global demand for eco-friendly materials, Nigeria stands at a unique advantage point to reclaim its leadership in rubber production, not just in Africa, but across the world. Despite Nigeria's long history in natural rubber cultivation and its comparative agroecological advantage, the sector today faces serious constraints. Namely, one, there is no coherent national policy framework guiding the development of rubber. Rubber research of Nigeria remains underfunded over the years, innovation impaired, or scale breakthroughs effectively. Youth participation is low or discouraged by the long gestation period of rubber trees and lack of viable investment incentives. Infrastructure for processing and value addition is weak, leading to export of raw materials rather than finished products. Access to financing remains limited, with few tailored funding mechanisms for rubber production and processing, and structural challenges such as aging population and rehabilitation of old rubber estates. We must therefore move from admiring the potential of rubber to unlocking its potential through deliberate and coordinated action. This national roundtable, is therefore a turning point as it offers a platform to reimagine what is possible. Together, we must do the following. 1. Review the current state of the rubber industry, the trends, the gaps, and the global opportunities we must seize. 2. Promote sustainable farming practices and environmentally friendly production methods to ensure the long-term viability of the industry. 3. Explore innovative agroforestry models that integrate rubber to food security, climate resilience, and land restoration. 4. Identify practical policies that will de-risk investment, shorten the gestation pain point for producers, and make rubber attractive to the next generation of agripreneurs. 5. Design financing strategies and capacity building programs to support research, extension, and industrial processing. 6. Encourage partnerships between local and international companies to expand market access and promote Nigerian rubber products globally. 7. Review and update policies and regulations to support the growth of the rubber industry, including incentives for investors, farmers, and exporters. 8. Foster partnership between farmers, processors, and manufacturers to promote value-added production and increase the industry's competitiveness. 9. Support small-scale farmers through agro programs, providing them with input, training, and assured and guaranteed market access. 10. Invest in modern processing technologies to improve the quality and value of Nigerian rubber products. 11. Develop a stakeholder-driven implementation roadmap to ensure today's conversation translate into measurable outcomes tomorrow. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you that the federal government of Nigeria is fully committed to diversifying our economy through agriculture and free crops like rubber. While we acknowledge that the national policy on rubber is overdue, I am pleased to announce that efforts are already underway to initiate a comprehensive national policy and strategic action plan for the rubber sector. Thank you. To provide the necessary institutional backing, incentives, and regulatory clarity to do the following. 1. Attract long. 3. Support youth and women in rubber agri-businesses. And 4. Position Nigeria as a competitive player in the global rubber market. Considering the enormity of the pressing challenges facing Nigeria's agricultural sector, the government has fashioned out a clear policy direction to provide roadmap for the strategic implementation of key programs and projects. In this perspective, our policy direction is fashioned towards an increased agricultural output in the country in order to sustain the contribution of agriculture to the country's gross domestic product, enhance livelihood, and attain food security and food sovereignty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is interesting to note that sequent to supporting policies, rising investment and strategic partnerships taken by the government under our amiable president, His Excellency Senator Bola Tinubu GCFR, Nigeria's agriculture is now poised for a stronger performance. The present administration has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to tackling the complex issues of food security, economic instability, and agricultural development, recognizing the critical role that agriculture plays in driving economic development, feeding the nation, ensuring youth are no longer resting. The government has intensified investment in agriculture through various initiatives such as the Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program. Just recently, His Excellency President Bola Tinubu commissioned 2,000 tractors, over 9,000 specialized farming implements, where we are expecting that this will transform our low mechanization rate, which is put at about 0.27 horsepower per hectare to about 1.7 or 2 horsepower per hectare. We are targeting the cultivation of over 550,000 hectares of land, and I believe the rubber sector should get its own fair share out of this. The expected outcome is to produce more than 2 million metric tons of staple foods and create jobs for Nigerian youths and women. In a historic move, the President has approved the recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture with a massive amount of 1.5 trillion, marking a monumental milestone in Nigeria's agricultural financing landscape. The details are being worked out, but you also remember that just recently the Bank of Agriculture has already advertised the utilization of these 2,000 tractors and implements. And you can check out their website as young entrepreneurs to see how you can participate. Because the idea is that President Bola Tinubu wants real farmers to be the beneficiaries of this tractorization or mechanization program. Accordingly, the President has also approved the sum of 450 billion credit facility through the bank for disbursement to smallholder farmers at a single-digit interest rate. This unprecedented boost is targeted at promoting the agricultural sector and unlocking new opportunities for growth, development, and food security. The government has also established, like you all know, the National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, to support growth in the Nigerian agricultural sector by facilitating access to finance and fostering long-term stability through diverse funding sources. The fund mission is to elevate the nation's agricultural standard and secure its food future. Between 30th August and September 7th, the 2025 wet season agricultural performance survey was conducted across all the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory by the National Agricultural Extension and Research Liaison Services (NERLS) in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, other agencies and development partners. The report confirms steady growth in Nigeria's agriculture, with rice, maize, sorghum, millet, cowpea, yam, and cassava all recording higher outputs compared to 2025. These agricultural production gains were driven by modest expansion in cultivated areas, improved farming practices, and resilience across major producing states, thereby reinforcing food security and sustaining agro-industrial value chains. In addition, we are implementing a dry season initiative for all year-round farming on 500,000 hectares. The first phase started with focus on wheat in 15 wheat producing states. Second phase covers rice, maize, and cassava. The government is scaling up industrial transformation across the agricultural value chain through the rollout of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone (SAPZ), supported by the African Development Bank, funded and other development partners. Phase 1 covers the states of Kaduna, Cross River, Kano, Kwara, Imo, Ogun, and Oyo and the FCT. That is the 5-year program. Has already been flagged off in Kaduna and Cross River State in April 2025. This program also aims to boost agricultural output for over 60%, reduce post-harvest losses by 80%, promote value addition, create jobs, and improve market access. The National Agricultural Growth Scheme is another flagship program initiated by the government to boost production, and it is also targeting the resilience of farmers to promote agricultural practices. The Agro-Pocket program is to leverage digital technologies to revolutionize the agricultural input subsidies, ensuring seamless and efficient digital transactions. In response to the numerous challenges faced by smallholder farmers, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has developed short-term plans to make farm input more accessible and affordable. In line with this, to ease economic hardship, we have supported smallholder farmers in all the states of the Federation and the FCT with vital implements and inputs, and this was flagged up in Lagos State some few weeks ago, and many other states have witnessed the distribution of these items by our various directors and other staff. These are provided at no cost to farmers and distributed through Agricultural Commodity Association, Farmers Cooperative Group, and the like. We acknowledge that youth and women are important stakeholders and drivers of innovation and productivity. And so, within that context, we have also gone through many programs that we are doing. Now, but the other aspect is that within the context of the rubber sector, I will come back to highlight one or two other issues, especially given some of the comments made by the board chair and even His Royal Highness. Now, let me say that as a ministry, we realize that based on the vision of the President, we must reposition the ministry to respond critically to all the things we are doing. To that extent, we now have some departments that were not there before: the Federal Department of Horticulture, Federal Department of Plant Health and Pest Control Services, Federal Department of Agricultural Mechanization, Federal Department of Agricultural Data and Analytics, Federal Department of Agricultural Information and Communication, and then Federal Department of Development Partners Projects. This is formerly known as PCU, that is the Project Coordinating Unit. All these innovations were brought on board simply to enhance the visibility of our activities, but also guarantee that we can work based on standards and facts. And I know for those who are here, you agree with me that when it comes to data, we are always having problems around our data. Now, one of the flagship projects of our ministry is the Nigerian Farmer Soil Health Scheme. This, I believe, is critical and important for what we are discussing here in this roundtable. This was inaugurated by Mr. President on Tuesday, October 13, 2025, with close to 600 farmers, dignitaries, and participants. The scheme is intended to transform Nigeria's agricultural sector as it offers crop and location-specific fertilizer recommendations, which will discourage indiscriminate use of fertilizers, reduce the waste and high costs associated with how farmers are currently using the technology to farm. Additionally, it encourages organic amendment and sustainable land management practices, inspiring farmers to adopt technologies and methods that improve soil health, thereby broadening sustainable intervention across Nigeria's diverse agroecology. The goal is to establish 774 soil laboratories all over the local government so that this service is brought closer to Nigerian farmers. Under the directive of President Bola Tinubu, we are also having the cooperative reform, the New Hope Cooperative Reform and Revamp Program, which is designed to bring cooperative societies at the forefront of our agricultural production and processing and other value activities. And I believe, given the challenges that have been mentioned here with respect to the long gestation of this crop, this important crop, the rubber crop, the role of cooperatives here cannot be overemphasized. And I believe it's an opportunity for us to get the young ones and even our women to form cooperatives, which will give them the added advantage of diversifying whatever they are doing while waiting for the period.
This gathering reflects commitment to reposition the rubber industry as a strategic contribution to economic diversification, rural development, and industrial growth. Nigeria possesses comparative advantages, fertile, favorable conditions, a growing industrial base, and a resilient farming population. There is a critical need for harnessing those strengths through coordinated research, innovations, and enforcement. The RCN is particularly encouraged by the collaborative spirit that bring us together today. For us, regionalizing the rubber sector begins with strengthening the research industry's initiative. Interface. We must accelerate the development and dissemination of high yielding journals, improve packing and processing technologies, addressing disease challenges, and support the transition to modern, sustainable production system. Those efforts will only succeed when researchers work hand in hand and with farmers, processors, private investors, and relevant MDAs. This Roundtable provide an invaluable platform to identify practical solutions, whether in expanding plantation, improving quality standard, unlocking financing, or creating incentive for value addition and exports. It is also an opportunity to examine the global rubber landscape and position Nigeria's competitiveness within regional and international markets. The Agricultural Council of Nigeria remains committed to offering robust scientific reports in support, coordinating national research programs, and fostering partnerships that will try to affect the entire rubber value chain. We stand ready to collaborate with all stakeholders represented here today. I commend the Executive Director of Rubber Research Institute of Nigeria, the entire staff of the Institute, and Executive Construct for conducting this strategic dialogue, and thank all participants for your dedication to revitalizing this important step. I have confidence that the outcome of today's discussion will set a new direction, sustainable growth, and prosperity for rubber farmers, processors, and Nigerian economy apply.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this National Roundtable discussion on revolutionizing the rubber sector for economic independence. Today's gathering is not just another meeting. It is a defining moment for the repositioning of Nigeria's natural rubber industry as a catalyst for sustainable economic growth, national resilience, and global competitiveness. For decades before the oil boom era, Nigeria stood proudly among the world's leading rubber-producing nations. Today, however, we have slipped to a distant 12th place in global rubber production. However, as global demand continues to rise, especially from the tire industry, industrial polymers, construction, pharmaceuticals, and emerging green technologies, we must stop and confront a crucial question: are we fully unlocking the immense potential of Nigeria's rubber value chain? This question is very critical because, as I know, rubber is the only commodity that has applications that are over 400 across different industries. This is why the Roundtable represents a bold and strategic step toward answering that question through concrete and collaborative action. The Roundtable is of great national significance, providing us with the opportunity to reflect, collaborate, and chart a transformative path for Nigeria's rubber industry over these 2 days. It has been carefully structured around 4 expository themes, each providing a focused lens for examining the sector's opportunities and challenges. Rubber-based agroforestry, where we explore regenerative and climate-smart farming systems, strengthening the rubber value chain with a focus on finance, inclusion, and value addition. Repositioning Nigeria's rubber sector for international markets, ensuring we tap into expanding global demand and result-driven policy reforms, which will underpin our collective efforts with the right regulatory and institutional frameworks. Over the course of our discussions, we will assess where we stand today, identify what must change, and agree on actionable strategies that can drive meaningful transformation. Equally important, we must aim to conclude this roundtable with a clear stakeholder-driven roadmap that promotes collaboration, strengthens networks, and guides effective implementation long after these 2 days are over.